Ever since I started collecting clocks about 10 years ago, I've always wanted a 30-hour clock, and now I have 5. 4 of my 30-hour clocks are OG clocks, and they're on a shelf just above me over here. I'll give you a shot of them. But this is slightly different. Although one might be tempted to call it a OG clock, it is not. It is a 4-column clock. There's 2 columns on this side and 2 columns on this side. The clock was made in New York and assembled by a company called Sperry Shaw. Now, Sperry Shaw were simply assemblers. They had no concept or knowledge in how to design, build, and manufacture clocks, but what they did do is they bought movements, sourced cases, put everything together, and sold it as a product. Now, this was happening in the 1840s and 1850s, and you might say, well, that's a long time ago. Were people that entrepreneurial at that time? Of course they were. They were in business. Sperry Shaw were also somewhat unscrupulous because what they did do is they copied movements, patented movements, from people like Chauncey Jerome. And so Chauncey Jerome, in his life, he died in the 1860s, but he had several lawsuits involved in trying to settle patent disputes with companies like Sperry Shaw. So this is a clock that is, as I said, 30-hour or one-day clock, and it is weight-driven. So these are the 2 weights. These are called wafer weights, and they go in channels on either side of the clock, here and here. So the channel fits very snugly inside, okay? Now the weights are outside of this clock right now because I'm preparing it for sale. However, this is the pendulum leader, and the pendulum bob is right here. Probably not original. This is the clock face right here. It's probably not original either, nor is the picture on the lower tablet, which is of the Bay of Quinte in Ontario. So that was obviously added at some point in the clock's life. In fact, it even says Bay of Quinte on the back, and you can see that there is tape holding it in place. So obviously added. Now, are the hands original? Likely not. But the movement, it says Sperry Shaw on it, and the case is a Sperry Shaw case, and of course the label, which is 98% there, also says Sperry Shaw. This is a nice looking clock. It's got faux wood grain columns, which was a fad in those days. And the case is probably a little darker than it was. It's aged over time. Movement has been serviced, and so it does run well. Now, I find this is a kind of a clock where you may have to open it up and either clean it or make some adjustments about once a year, because they can be a little, I don't know, temperamental. Anyway, so this is a Sperry Shaw 4-column clock made in New York, called the New York style, and stands about 24 inches tall by about 14 inches wide by about 5 inches deep. It's a shelf clock. These are not meant to be hung. This is a shelf clock. Once it is serviced and everything is attended to as far as wear is concerned, these are very, very accurate clocks. And so that's it. That's a Sperry Shaw clock from about the 1840s, probably 1846, 1847. Anyway, thanks for watching.